Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's Jay Triz, man, and I am back with another video. Now, let me start off by saying, the other day, I posted a video and I was like, this is the only small guard build you need on NBA 2K27. I was wrong, okay? I was wrong, I'm not gonna lie. If you watched that video and 2K already came out and you made the build, I'm sorry. But I made 3 builds for this video. We've got a PG, we've got a lock, and we got a big. I wanted to make sure that I spent as much time making sure we got badge slots, badge tokens, as well as being able to utilize effectively our cap breakers while still being able to maximize the potential of the build and meet requirements. I'm not gonna lie, I've spent way too much time on my phone recently, and my wife low-key is probably mad. I ain't gonna lie. I'm grateful for her heart, she's understanding, man. So let's get right into this video and start off with this PG. All right, man, we're gonna start off with the point guard position, okay? First things first, we're gonna go point guard. 6'2", 204 for the weight with a 6'3" wingspan. Now, before we get into the actual build element of this thing, I do know that because you are a heavier weight, the body type is going to give you toned, broad, or shredded. Whereas in the recent 2Ks, it actually has played a part in speed boost elements of things when you had more of like a balanced or a slender body type for the small guards. We'll see how that plays a part into this year. I might make some adjustments to the build if so, but if not, this build gives me a lot of what I'm looking for according to my playstyle this year. Of course, with what you see, you can tinker with it or do whatever you need to as well to make it more fit for your playstyle. So, first things first, point guard, 6'2", 204 weight, and a 6'3" wingspan. Now, we've got 11 finishing badge tokens. We're gonna go 69 close shot, 86 driving layup. We're gonna go 80 driving dunk, 27 standing dunk, as well as a 32 post control. The 86 driving layup is going to give you access to Stephen Curry's animations. Now, he's been notorious for having really good layup animations, floaters, scoops, you know, whatever it may be. It's been really good. So that will give you all of his animations for the layups. Now, with the driving dunk, we're only going to need 2 cap breakers to get this from an 80 to an 87. And the reason for that is because let's say I was to lower my driving layup or even lower my driving dunk, it will mess with the other attributes as well as dropping the amount of badge tokens that we have for the build as well. Moving down, we're gonna go shooting. 18 shooting badge tokens, 84 midi, 94 tray ball, and then the 73 free throw. Those were the extras that we had left over too. This is gonna give you access to nearly everything on gold. However, with the 5 cap breakers I plan on putting on this build, at the 3 ball, that's going to give us everything at Hall of Fame. Moving down, we've got 16 playmaking badge tokens. We have so many in the offensive, finishing, shooting, and playmaking already. And then I know you can see that 14 with our defense. We got a ton there as well. So for the 16 playmaking badge tokens, we got a 70 pass accuracy, 92 ball handle, and then a 91 speed with ball. Now, the 92 ball handle is going to give you access to Stephen Curry's dribble animations as well as Trae Young. I'm really excited to get in the lab and see, you know, how those come out to be. But having access to everything at the start, I think is going to be really effective. And just having a higher ball handle as a PG is going to be nice too. And then the speed with ball, 91 speed with ball is going to give you lightning launch on Hall of Fame. And then when you do throw those 2 more cap breakers on it, you're going to get pace on Hall of Fame as well. And those are the 2 badges that are vital for this year for dribbling as a guard. All right, as we move on down the list, we're going to be at defense now. We got 14 badge tokens. Now, if you watched the other video, you already know about the running joke I had with the 70 interior, but we're gonna go 70 interior on this small guard build as well. Then we're gonna go 84 perimeter with a 90 steal as well as a 59 block. Now, if I was to tinker with these at all, that would drop the badge token amount that we have. Now, I wanna max out as many badge tokens as I possibly can. We have 14 badge tokens. If I drop my steal lower than it is, it would drop down to 13, and that's not what we want. Now, for perimeter defense, do keep in mind, 85 perimeter gives you that glue takeover. So with 1 cap breaker, you're gonna be able to get this from an 84 perimeter to an 86. That's gonna give you 2 more silver badges, seatbelt and ankle braces. That's gonna be clutch, especially if you're, you know, guarding primary as a 2s guard, you know? Okay. Moving on down the list. Now, rebounding, the reason why, I already know, Jay Triz, you don't need a 60 rebound on a small guard. All right, listen here, okay? The reason why I have a 60 O board is because I was trying to get that crasher, all right? I was trying to get crasher. If I go 59, I can't get crasher and I lose out on my badge token, okay? I just did it. Y'all saw it in real time. So I'm going 60 O board to give me that badge token as well as crasher. And then defensive rebound is at 50. Now, moving on down to physicals, we've got 7 badge tokens that we can use on our physicals. You got an 87 speed, an 82 agility, a 50 strength, and a 60 vertical. Now, don't come at me crazy yet about the strength, okay? You can see that because of our weight, our strength can get up to an 81. And then for our vertical, obviously a 99. But let's jump actually right into the cap breaker so that I can give you guys a visual as to what it's gonna look like when we use it. So, cap breakers, we're gonna start up at the top. Finishing, like I said, 2 cap breakers can get you to an 87 driving dunk. Now, with the driving layup, of course, you can get up to a 91 if you really wanted to be elite inside as a guard, but most, ISO guards like myself, I'm either dunking or shooting. So the layup is just for the buffer at the beginning of the year, as well as when I do run into situations where I don't get a dunk animation, I can lay up out of it effectively. And you'll see that with getting bronze physical finisher later on in the video. Next is gonna be the 99 tray ball. We don't really need to talk more about that. We already know. Free throw can get up to a 95 if you run this in the rec as well. Playmaking, we're gonna go 2 cap breakers on this 91 so that we can get Hall of Fame pace. But early on, I'm not going to. I'm gonna leave it right there at that 91 because I have lightning launch on Hall of Fame already. Now, pass accuracy is exciting. If you use 4 cap breakers, you can get silver versatile visionary, which I think is gonna be really effective. And if bronze isn't as good as we want it to be, that's gonna be very helpful moving forward. Moving down, we don't have to touch much with our defense. I plan on doing 1 cap breaker to get it to an 86 and then leaving it alone until I get all those excess cap breakers later on down the road. We don't have to worry about rebounding either as well. If you really, had extras, I don't really think we're gonna have extras for this, but you could go up to a 62 defensive rebound. For our physicals, I don't necessarily mind leaving my speed and agility where they are. I think 87 and 82 is great. Now, once the motion styles, I have a little bit more understanding about the motion styles, I may need to change it depending on what I want as a guard. But I think 87 and 82 should cover it. I might need to do some more research into that to see if I get good motion styles. But for the strength and the vertical, 1 cap breaker for the strength and 1 cap breaker for the vertical. 65 vertical gives you bronze posterizer, which paired with an 80 driving dunk is effective. Then strength, 50 strength plus 10 gives you 60, and that's gonna be the requirement that you need for physical finisher. So when you do get taken out of those dunk animations, you'll be able to have a larger green window with that physical finisher. Now, I can't lie to you. I'm so excited for the takeover system this year because when you have a player who plays well in all areas, you're going to be able to be rewarded for that in every area of your takeover. So I'm stoked about that. Starting off this year, I'm going to go with Navigator. The reason for that is because I don't have the requirements for airspace yet. But if I do choose to put cap breakers on my driving dunk in vertical, I'll be able to use airspace in the future. But for now, Navigator is going to be perfect for using, having nice floaters, nice little scoop layups, everything like that. Next, zip code. You already know that's Deep Bomber from last year. We pull him from half. I can't lie. Now, playmaking. I'm running with Cook. And I'm super excited about this because this is literally a badge specific to breaking ankles. I know that we had that shooting take from last year as well as Blur that really helped with breaking ankles, but having a playmaking takeover specifically for breaking ankles is going to create so much content this year, bro. I'm so excited for it. Now, moving down, as you can see, we have that 84 perimeter, so we don't have access to glue just yet. Now, if you wanted to start off with something like Hawk, you do have access to that because of the 90 steel, but I will be using one of my early cap breakers on perimeter so that I can get that glue takeover for the defensive side of things. And then last but not least, I'm going to go with Hydration Hero as the rebounding takeover. The reason for that is because once I do get that takeover, if I get it, it's going to impact me in more than just the rebounding aspect of things. I'll actually be able to, dribble as much as I want to without running out of adrenaline and stamina. So I can't forget about this. With the badge tokens and badge slots, this is all going to be personal preference, right? So let's go through my preferences and I'll let y'all know what I'm going to do with each of these. We've got 3 badge slots and 11 badge tokens for finishing. My plan is that once I use my cap breaker on strength, I'll be able to put that, for physical finisher. So that will be one of the slots. And then of course for scoops and reverses and Euro steps, layup Mixmaster. And then last but not least is going to be float game. Now, I think I might choose to like max plus 1 or 2 my float, maybe max plus 1. If silver is good, I'll leave it there, but I'm still kind of brainstorming, and I also don't know how effective each of the badges are yet, so we'll see once the game drops on Wednesday. For now, because I don't have strength, I'll just go, layup Mixmaster, float game. I might do Ghost Stepper if I want to do some step throughs or something, or I might go with Aerial Wizard, which I primarily use for putbacks, not really alley-oops as much, but that's that. Moving down, we've got 18 badge tokens with 5 badge slots. This one's pretty much going to be self-explanatory. I don't plan on fading from 3, so I don't really use Arc Cadence, but I do want to use that mid-range fade. So I will most likely go Set and Fire, Mini Marksman, Limitless Range, Deadeye, and Smooth Operator to fill up my 5 badge slots. And playmaking, we've got 16 badge tokens with another 5 badge slots. Now for me, because I already have that ankle breaking takeover, I'm not worried about having Ankle Assassin on the build at all, actually. What I'm thinking this year is that I'll go Pace, Lightning Launch, Handles for Days, Unpluckable, and Versatile Visionary. All right, moving on to defense, we've got 4 badge slots and we've got 14 badge tokens. Now, I'm excited about talking about this because here we go. My 4 slots, I'm telling you right now, it's going on Seatbelt, Ankle Braces, Pick Dodger, and Challenger. I'm primarily going to be guarding the ball in the 2s, right? So I need to make sure that I'm not getting my ankles broken, as well as making sure that I'm defending very well with the Seatbelt badge. But you have a 90 steal, bro. Why would you not use Interceptor or Glove? Well, the reason why I'm not using them is because I have a 90 steal. So if I'm prioritizing staying in front of my man and not getting my ankles broken, then I'm not going to use Glove to get on-ball steals, and I'm not going to use Interceptor to get lane steals. I'm going to see what it's like allowing the attribute to do that for me instead of using badge tokens on that and, badge slots. Last 2, we've got rebounding and physicals. You already know I'm putting Crasher for the 1 rebounding slot. And then for the physicals, we have 2 badge slots, and I'm going to use those on Workhorse and Flash. All right, that's it for the PG. Now we're going to move over to the lock. For our lock, we're going to go shooting guard, 6'6", 220 pounds with a 7-foot wingspan. This is going to be more so for maybe like a 3s lock. Starting off for finishing, we don't really have all that much. 65 close shot, 56 driving layup, 76 driving dunk, 36 standing dunk, 44 post control. Now with the cap breakers, you're going to be able to do more driving dunk and more standing dunk, but as of right now, I don't really think I need it because my focus is going to be on defense. You will have 4 badge tokens, which in that case, when you do cap break for driving dunk, you can put it on posterizer, and that's going to be really effective. Moving down for our shooting, we're going to have 12 shooting tokens. We're going to go 73 from the mid-range and 83 from the 3-ball. Like I said, this is a 3s lock, so most times they're sitting in the corner waiting for a no-dip shot. So that's what I would do there, and then you don't really need free throw on a 3s lock. Moving on down to playmaking. Now, you don't really need all that much playmaking on a lock either, I'm not going to lie. But with having a 75 speed with ball, that's going to give you that silver lightning launch. I think when you do use your cap breakers for your dunk, it's going to be effective to use that silver lightning launch, get to the basket, dunk on someone if you need to. Then 70 ball handle, I'm not sure what kind of animations I'm going to get from that at the moment, but we'll see. And then you're not really going to be looking for like dot passes. You're not throwing dots as a lock, so you don't really need any higher pass accuracy than that. Moving on to defense. Now, we're defensive heavy. We're a lock. We've got to be. So this year, I know you guys have seen that slashers are going to be crazy. I was seeing so many people getting dunked on from videos at the NBA 2K community day that I was like, all right, I got to have high interior. This is crazy. Okay. So 17 badge tokens. We're going to go 82 interior, 78 block, 94 perimeter, and 94 steal. Next is going to be the rebounding. Now, as a lock, let's say that your big that's helping you on the screens needs to switch off to the guard, and that means you need to be in position for a rebound. I gotta go 75 both ways. That's going to give me 7 rebounding badge tokens, so I'll be able to use sync, or I'll be able to use possession closer, whatever that may be. We want to make sure that big that's slipping to the basket does not have access to grab that board over you. So I think having that box out boss is going to be, very helpful for this build as well. And that's why I went 75 O and D board too. And then last but not least, our physicals. We're going to go 88 speed, 89 agility, 84 strength, because we know that that bruiser badge is gonna come in crazy. We've got to utilize that to as much of our potential as we can. And then a 75 vertical for those contacts, as well as pairing that 75 with the 75 board, I think will position you enough to get enough rebounds as needed in that position. For our cap breakers, you already know, see with that driving dunk, we're gonna do 5 cap breakers for the driving dunk so we can get those contacts as well as silver posterizer. We're not gonna do much with shooting, we don't need to. Playmaking, we don't really have to do much, but we have room to get to an 86 ball handle and an 84 speed with ball, as well as a 70 pass accuracy that gives you silver dimer, as well as bronze versatile visionary. For the defense, I do plan on doing 10 cap breakers for steal and perimeter defense because I wanna make sure it's as effective as possible. I definitely am going to do perimeter defense. I'm still thinking about whether or not I want to do steal as much. Rebounding, that's pretty self-explanatory. If your play style is you want to have more rebounding, more cap breakers there. And then as for the physicals, I don't really see the need to, maybe you can increase your vertical if you want more help rebounding or jumping for block or whatever. But I think that where it's at is great. All right, now for our takeovers. Now, here's the thing. If we use those 5 cap breakers early, you'll be able to have airspace as one of your takeovers. And that one is going to give you those contacts crazy. So that's where my mind was at for the takeover. Now, for the shooting, I was thinking, you might as well do plus 30 for your shooting because you don't have any other badges in here, which, you're going to be able to use unless you use Hydration Hero. So you might as well use that plus 30 so you can have 80 mid-range. You already have the 83 3 ball and then 80 free throw, whatever. For the playmaking, same thing. I'm thinking you might as well just boost everything plus 30 so that you can get 80 for each of those categories. And then for defense, you already know I'm running glue. I got to make sure that I'm stopping this PG from going where he wants to. And then for rebounding, I did throw in Hydration Hero. Now, if there's room for it, and we can go back to the cap breakers and look at that, or you can go back to the cap breakers and look, but if you get up to an 80 O board and an 80 D board, you're going to get muscled because we already have that 84 strength, which that could be really effective for combating with those bigs down low. Now, okay, here we go. I am going to throw the badges on the screen here. I'm not going to give you a full breakdown of what I plan on doing just because the PG is coming out first and then we'll move on with the lock later on through the year. But you see you have 4 badge tokens, 2 slots for finishing, 12 and 4 for shooting, 4 and 2 for playmaking, 17 and 6 for defense, 7 and 3 for rebounding, and then 10 and 3 for physicals. All right, y'all, last build of the video, man. We're gonna get right into that big. This is my popper, you know what I'm saying? I didn't make a popper in 26. I've actually never made a popper, but I was excited to try this out, and I like how the build came out. It has some crazy rebounding stats, some nice shooting. I think it's gonna come together really well. First things first, we're gonna go power forward, 6'9", 219 pounds with a 7'3" wingspan. Okay, for this big, where my brain was at, I was thinking, okay, I want to make sure I have enough standing dunk on this big so I can be effective under the rim, maybe even like after an offensive rebound kind of situation if I used it in the rec. But also, it does get up to an 81 driving dunk. So if I'm slipping off of a screen, it's going to be easy for me to get up on that rim without having any issues. So we've got 6 badge tokens here. We're going to go 75 close shot, 50 driving layup, 70 driving dunk, 81 standing dunk, and a 55 post control. My play style, I don't use post moves. That's just not how I play as a player. I leave that to everyone else who's a lot better than I am, but I'm not really worried about, post control on a popper. For the shooting, we do get 10 badge tokens. We're gonna go 83 ball with a 70 mid-range and 55 free throw. Now, if you're using this in the rec, you're definitely gonna wanna put cap breakers on your free throw so that when you get fouled off of that slip, you're gonna be able to knock it down without any issue. For the playmaking, we've got 6 tokens for the playmaking. We're gonna go 86 pass accuracy, make sure that we can get that dimer on gold, break starter silver, versatile visionary silver, and you get bailout on bronze too. We don't really have to worry about ball handling or speed with ball because we're not going to be dribbling, so no need to worry about that. Now for our defense, I was super excited about this actually. We got 88 interior, 84 block. We're stopping everyone in the paint, okay? Let me just say that first. This build is stopping everyone in the paint. You got post lockdown on gold already, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're going crazy. High flying denier on silver. We're going crazy, okay? And then you got 62 perimeter. That's going to give you ankle braces on bronze. And then you got a 60 steel, which is going to give you interceptor on bronze as well. That's going to both be very effective with each other. Here is the bread and butter of this big, because this is where it's like, you don't even have to worry about getting horsed. 90 O board, 90 D board. Everything is silver except you got Sink Snatcher on a Hall of Fame. This right here, I'm not gonna lie, this is kind of crazy. Like, you're gonna be snagging over everyone on this 6'9" with this build. And you got an 80 vertical to pair with it, okay? Like, we're going crazy on this big. 82 speed, 78 agility, 85 strength, and an 80 vertical. In my opinion, that's all you need there for the physicals. You got 9 badge tokens with that as well. Okay, for our cap breakers, here we go. Like I said earlier, you can get up to an 81 driving dunk with this with all 5 cap breakers. Moving down to shooting, you can get up to an 80 mid-range with this with all of your cap breakers. Moving to playmaking, you have a lot of options here. 80 ball handle with a 72 speed with ball, or you can get your pass sec up to a 93. And then defensively, if you want to make this like a hybrid like popper and lock, you can really get this up to an 80 perimeter and a 79 steal. That's lethal on the defensive end, especially as a big. Then I wouldn't touch the rebounding. I'm going to leave it where it's at. And then same thing for the physicals. I wouldn't really touch those either. Let's move on to the badge slots. We're going to have 6 finishing tokens with 3 slots, 10 and 4 for our shooting, 6 and 2 for playmaking, 9 and 4 for defense, 13 and 4 for rebounding, and then 9 and 3 for our physicals. And that is it for the big, man. That's looking kind of crazy, especially that rebounding aspect of the big is crazy. Now, here's the thing. I primary guard, so my guard is definitely a lot more thought through and a lot more research was done for it than the lock and the big. But I still think as a starter build, that lock and big are going to be really effective to start out this year on 2K27. For that guard, I ain't gonna lie, I don't know if I'm gonna need another build. Like, if height is really that much of a factor, then I'll make a new one. But that has everything I need and cap breakers included, thinking in the future. Like, I really don't see any problem with that small guard. I can't lie to you. And that is it for the video, man. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will say, if you have a build that you want me to review or you want me to look into to see how it works for cap breakers and badge tokens and badge slots and all that stuff, let me know, man. Send it to my Instagram or my Twitter. I'm very active on both of those, so feel free to send that over and I'll get a chance to look at it as soon as I can. Anyways, man, I appreciate y'all so much for spending these last 30 minutes with me, and I'm super excited to go into 2K27. Make sure you let me know down below which build of these 3 you would use going into 27, and also don't forget to like and subscribe and turn those post notifications on, because although I am a newer streamer and content creator, I'm low-key gonna try to be as active as I can and bring in that content for you guys as much as I possibly can, man. Appreciate you guys so much for watching the video once again. Love.